Hello everyone, my name is Dua and my persuasive speech is on fast fashion. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the term fast fashion, but what does it mean? If you think it sounds similar to fast food, you're right. I mean, it is cheap, fast, and of questionable quality. To sum up the definition of fast fashion, it's inexpensive clothing produced rapidly by mass market retailers in response to the latest trends. While this may sound like heaven, buying trendy shirts or shorts for cheap, it is also no friend to the environment. The excessive textile production needed to keep up with fast fashion results in overwhelming CO2 and greenhouse gas emissions. In addition to polluting the air, fast fashion is also polluting the earth's water. It takes 2,700 liters of water to make one cotton t-shirt, which is more than enough to fill 30 bathtubs. The negative effects of fast fashion result in pesticides, toxic chemicals, air and water pollution, exploited workers, child labor, and so much more. Also, we can buy cheap products and throw them away as soon as they go out of style or when we get bored of them, if they don't fall apart before then, of course. In this video, I'm going to highlight a few ways to fight fast fashion and make a difference. First things first, you should know where the clothes you're about to buy came from and who made them. One study from the Forum Drop Research articles stated that there are around 45 million people employed in the fashion industry. Women make up a solid 85% of the global workforce in textile factories. They are some of the lowest paid workers in the world. When you're buying clothes, ask the brands you're interacting with, was this made in a safe environment and was everyone in the factory paid a living wage? Something else you can do is shop in charity shops, vintage shops, and take part in clothes swaps. The idea of wearing second-hand clothes may take a while for someone to come around, but once knowing and seeing the positive impact it has on the earth, one might look into doing it more often. Stats from the Charity Retail Association show charity shops are able to reuse or recycle more than 90% of donated clothing. I contacted a close colleague of mine that started her journey of being a minimalist and reducing her economical footprint around 6 years ago to share her opinion on fast fashion.
Hi, my name is Huda, and I've been passionate about ethical fashion for the last 6 years. It all started when I started learning about how wasteful and inhumane the garment industry is. The issue of garment industry and fast fashion comes at the intersection of feminism, since most of the garment workers are predominantly female. It comes at the intersection of environmental issues, since a lot of land and water rights are being ignored, such as like a lot of the dyes being thrown into the water that affects the livelihood of the people that survive on that water. And it also comes at the labor and human rights issues. A lot of garment workers are paid really low wages and not given any benefits. I believe that every dollar I spend is a dollar and a vote towards the world that I want, and I want to support a fair trade and ethical industry and world where people, even in developing countries, have labor rights and the right to a dignified living. So for the last 6 years, I've organized clothing swaps. I've shopped at my local thrift store, sending my dollar and my vote towards my local economy, and occasionally have splurged on ethical and sustainable fashion where the cost reflects the true cost of paying the garment workers a fair wage and protecting environmental rights.
I wanted to provide an example to put in perspective about the things you might think about before buying clothes. For example, take this shirt from Zara. I bought it from a mall in Calgary, but what exactly did this shirt go through to get to where it is right now? It all starts with a cotton seed placed into the soil to grow. Cotton plants require a huge quantity of water and pesticides. Cotton also uses more pesticides than any other crop in the world. That can cause harm on field workers and damage surrounding ecosystems. Now, some t-shirts are made of organic cottons where they don't use pollutants to grow, but that only makes up less than 1% of the 22.7 million tons of cotton produced worldwide. After the cottons are harvested, they are shipped to spinning factories where they twist the cottons into yarn, then are sent to the mill to turn into sheets of gray fabric, where chemicals and heat is applied until they turn soft and white. Then the fabric is dipped into dye and bleach, which make up all the different colors acquired in the textiles. Some of the chemicals applied are cancer-causing, such as lead, mercury, and much more. Other harmful compounds are released as toxic water in rivers and oceans. After the finished cloths are delivered to factories in Bangladesh, India, China, and Turkey, human laborers, where employees are paid low wages and typically face poor work conditions, are still required to stitch them up into t-shirts. After manufacturers, all these t-shirts travel by ship, train, and truck to be sold in high-income countries, a process that gives Khan an enormous carbon footprint. I hope this speech gives you a different perspective on high-end fashion, and in my opinion, it may be hard to avoid engaging in high fashion, but there are many options other than buying from high-end stores. There are many alternatives I mentioned to reduce your carbon footprint, such as clothes swapping, buying from secondhand stores, and buying from local stores. Thank you for tuning in.